Welcome to the East Palo Alto Tree Initiative. Over the last 3.5 years, Canopy, a nonprofit tree organization, has planted more than 1,000 trees in East Palo Alto, California as part of the East Palo Alto Tree Initiative. The trees you are looking at here are in the heart of East Palo Alto on Newbridge Street. They are African olive from the savannas of Africa. This unusual olive species is a close relative of the familiar Mediterranean olive. It is a tree of great beauty for difficult growing locations. Throughout most of the East Palo Alto Tree Initiative, diversity in tree species selection has been a hallmark, with more than 24 species being used. The planting you are looking at here is unusual for the project in that it uses a single species, a choice made to accentuate a dramatic boulevard effect, and also driven by the lack of good tree choices for this challenging paved and unirrigated median location. At a 2006 Canopy event with Nobel Peace Prize winner Wangali Maathai, Canopy pledged to plant 1,000 trees in 5 years in East Palo Alto by 2011. We eclipsed that goal several years early and are on our way to our next 1,000. Now you are looking at one of 4 sections of sound wall planted by Canopy and its volunteers and partners in 2007. The total sound wall planting consists of 930 trees of more than 25 different types. This level of tree diversity is relatively unheard of outside of an arboretum. The project was designed as a demonstration of a wide variety of drought-tolerant trees, almost all broadleaf evergreen species, which can successfully be used in confined urban planting locations in the Bay Area of California. For example, more than a dozen different types of oaks were used, including common local native oak species, rare native oak species from other parts of California, oaks from the arid U.S. Southwest and Mexico, experimental oaks from Asia, along with proven Mediterranean native species like cork oak, which is a tree that has grown particularly well in the project. A fundamental driver of this desire for diversity is the fact that we live in a time of increasing climate chaos, and native trees are being particularly hard hit the world over. In light of the fact that we do not know where our climate is heading, or even if it is headed toward a new steady state, the only reasonable strategy for tree planters wanting to maximize their chance of having surviving trees in a century is to radically diversify your plantings, hedging your bets. Our need for this tree diversity was also driven by the varying heights of 5 different power line configurations over the project area. We put the idea of the right tree in the right place into practice here. It's costly to prune trees to keep them away from high voltage wires, and we planted shorter trees in appropriate areas to minimize future conflict. Because of the numerous tree species used, along with different types of planting stock, from acorns to sapling trees, you can readily see a wide range of growth speeds and tree sizes. Some grow faster, some slower. There are also variations in the quality of the nursery-provided root systems and genetic variation within tree types. You may also notice a pattern of small trees between larger trees. The smaller trees are designed and destined to be understory trees, beneath the spreading canopies of the larger overstory trees. All our understory trees are dry, shade-tolerant evergreens. They serve to provide a long-term low-level green screen hiding the sound wall. You may also notice what looks like odd pruning on some trees. Many of these trees have been pruned heavily to grow upright in a narrow space. Once they grow over the sound wall, full-size canopies will be allowed to form. Drought-tolerant trees often grow with a rounded shape due to a variety of evolutionary factors, but this shape needs considerable coaxing when the tree is grown very close to a roadway where trucks need at least 15 feet of vertical clearance beyond the 12-foot height of the sound wall itself. You just saw more than 500 trees, a bit more than half of the total project. Our survival rate is in the upper 90% range 3 years after planting, a remarkable number given the variety of species and the challenge of a difficult planting area.